Hey, and welcome everybody. My name is Eric, and this is going to be my profile, Lone Star Trader TX. I'm going to be uploading this video to YouTube under a channel, my new channel, Lone Star Trader TX as well. Just going to be doing some quick technical analysis, kind of showing different trends. I'm primarily a swing trader, and I just want to show some of the TA that I do, recognizing the patterns, and hopefully adding or helping out anybody who cares to look. So without further ado, we're going to jump right into one. One of the stocks that I've been looking at, and I've got a lot of questions on it as well, is going to be MYO, ticker MYO. Company is called MYOMO. This particular stock, I was brought to this one. I have a couple of scanners set up in my stock charts account, which is where I do all my TA. One of the things that I like about this is that it's a very volatile stock. As you can tell, we start over here at $6, have ranged anywhere to 11, down to 260, 253, just kind of all over the place. And that's one of the things I look for when doing a swing trade. Try to identify the pattern as best as possible, and then position myself as best as possible to do a nice swing. And so we'll just get into it. Again, I liked right here, we started at $11.40 and we gapped down all the way down to $2.07. That's a pretty big indicator to me that this is a stock I should look at, because it's very possible we're going to start trending up at some point. And it mostly what I'm looking at now is that I've drawn my trend lines across the top of the wicks here and drawn them at the bottom here. Just kind of pattern recognition, we're looking at a bullish rectangle is what I would call that. I've also pulled up a stock Google image when I googled bullish rectangle, just so for anybody newer can check it out. Kind of funny because it looks almost identical to ticker MYO. We've got this bullish rectangle that sits, we've got a trend line at the top, trend line at the bottom, obviously a resistance at the top, support at the bottom. We're looking at it, we started to trend up, we've entered this rectangle, hit the top, back down to the bottom, hit the top, back down to the bottom, hit the top, bottom. And as you notice, we start to trend up here, a couple pullbacks along the way, and this is where I would position myself most of the time. Now in this particular stock, I have positioned myself at the bottom of the support, anticipating a run up to resistance. And I like ticker MYO because I've done this multiple times and profited multiple times. So that was just kind of a Google image, and like I said, very similar to this particular ticker. So back to the chart, we're going to be looking at it, and if you'll notice, let me see if I can pull up my annotation tool. There we go. First things first, we're looking at the RSI, which, quick shout out to TTM Trades. This guy has been real helpful, real helpful. If you haven't checked out his profile, I would recommend doing that. TTM Trades. He's got a profile on StockTwits, and he's got a YouTube channel. But definitely very similar trading style to mine. Anyways, on with it. So we're looking at our RSI here, probably one of our most important indicators. Is our RSI sitting at 38.77, and this is all on a daily chart. I like to look at the daily just because it gives you the big picture. Now you can do intraday, you can do on a longer time period, but this is what I'm looking at right now. So we're looking at our RSI, and I generally like to see our RSI somewhere between 40 and 90. This one's sitting at 38.77. Obviously, as you can tell, we're sitting at our support of 359 right now, and it looks to be 12:20 Central Time. And one of the things that you'll notice is that we have this run up into our bullish rectangle. We had our 446 run, dipped down to the support, which is right around 350, and we start taking off right around this area here. I don't know if y'all can see that. And we make our run, meet our resistance at 563, and we top out there, come back to our support, which is roughly around that 340 range to 359. We take a nice bounce off of that, and we run back up to 552. And here we are, downtrend again, back to, lo and behold, our support. Obviously, where I'm at with this right now is we're going to anticipate a run back up. You can gamble and try to get on this support and anticipate that run back up to the 550 range. I did previously, and I ran it to about 5 and felt that's where I needed to take profit before seeing it dip back down, and essentially doing the same thing over again. And it worked out pretty well. So I personally took a position somewhere around 350 a day. I've got a stop loss set very tight, right around 344. So if it triggers it, I take a minimal loss. If it doesn't, and we start to trend back up, well, then we can probably expect to see $5 again. Now, one of the things I like to see in a volatile stock like this is for it to run across that trend line and hold that. And when we see that, we can usually expect that to run back up into our previous resistance, which one of the big golden rules here is that old resistance brings new support. And we've got 664 over here. You know, we've hit somewhere up $11, and I think eventually we will hit those numbers again. But like I said, this is the pattern we're following, is that bullish rectangle, and hopefully we run back up and we sit on top of that and expect another run up. Again, right now we're at support, so if this falls out of that trend line, which it seems to be intact as of right now, then you can pretty much count your losses and just be on with the next. Again, one of the other technical indicators that I like to look at here, and let's make note of something, is that every time we've seen a run up is usually on increased volume, which, let me scroll down here. So increased volume, look at here, we've hit our bottom here, and that's going to be around the 17th, 18th, and you can see an increase in volume in this area right there. And after that, we run up into meet our resistance and slowly decline back down. And almost the same situation, increase in volume. One of the things you need to make note of is that price action is always preceded by volume, and or following with or correlating with volume. Again, looking at this, I really like to use my RSI, but another thing, oh, I guess I drew a trend line there, whoops. Another thing I like to see on these, let's see if I can zoom in here, or actually I'll just circle it. Let's see. Alright, so one of the other things that I like to see, and I use as my indicators, is a stock that closes over its 8 exponential moving average, 8 EMA. I've got mine set as red right now. And I also like to see my 3 EMA crossing over to my 8 and crossing past it. One of the things, if you note right where we started lifting off from this previous support, my blue line crosses my red line there, bam, and you can see we start to trend up. And of course we meet our resistance, we come back down, we hit our support again, and if you'll look right around this area here, we've got a cross from our 3 to our 8, and of course trend back up. Again, one of the other indicators I use is an RSI, my EMAs, a combination of EMAs and Bollinger Bands. Our Bollinger Bands here started constricting. All of the technical indicators pretty much lined up. They haven't here yet, but I assume that they will start to shape up in the near future, assuming that volume starts to pour in, which it looks like it's starting to increase at this point. Yeah, so that's pretty much my quick rundown on that. I'm trying to get this in before market ends today, just so maybe it helps someone out, maybe, you know, keep you from panic selling and at the bottom, and you don't buy in at 5.15 and sell at the bottom, you know. So that's going to be pretty much it that I've got for today. If you have any questions, comments, please feel free to leave them. Message me. I'll do my best to get back to you. And yeah, happy trading. Good luck, everybody.